Alright, so Assault Mode Meliodas was confirmed for JP, and he is very, very good. Yeah, so I got, pinged on Discord about Assault Mode Melee, and I also saw a whole ton of videos on Assault Mode Meliodas, his skills, what he does from the live stream. And it's actually really crazy. Like his passive, you guys are reading it on the screen. Everything on this screen is translated by Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross database. So shouts to them. They do amazing work. But this is crazy. This is actually really, really crazy because, of course, he's a demon. And then his passive only works when you run a full demon or commandment team, which makes sense because he's the leader of the 10 commandments. But it's still pretty interesting. So if we look here, right, Forgotten Past, if all allies are demons or those with commandments, when allies take damage, increase basic stats by 5% and decreases defense related stats of all enemies by 15% for 2 turns, limit of 5 times, activates when entering battle. So I don't know if this limit of 5 times means this is stackable. But if that's the case, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Not only does he increase his basic stats, or all basic stats, I'm assuming of all allies, right? Increases all allies' basic stats by 5%. He decreases defense-related stats of all enemies by 15% for 2 turns. If you stack this up 5 times, that's what? I believe 75%? So that's pretty good. I mean, it says limit of 5 times. Again, I'm not certain if it only like procs once and then you can proc it again after the 2 turns. I don't know, but I think this is stackable, which is crazy, which is actually crazy. So then we take a look at his skills. His skill 1, 1000 divine cuts. Now this is strange. I thought the 1000 divine cuts would actually be his ultimate, but it looks like they took his ultimate from when he was, I believe when he was with Estarossa and Zeldris, right? It's the move where he like puts darkness or gravity or whatever he does and crushes Estarossa and Zel before they could get a chance to attack Elizabeth. So it was really freaking good. You know what I mean? So we got 1000 divine cuts as his skill 1. Inflicts rupture damage equal to 250% of attack on all enemies. So basically what this is saying, Goddess Elizabeth can't do anything. She literally cannot do anything. They heard our cries, our pleas. She's borderline useless against this guy because her only real gimmick is her barrier. I mean, yes, you can stun, but at the same time, it's like most of the time you're just going to use her barrier because her barrier literally stops any extra damage effect except rupture. So yes, his only weakness is that he can still be stunned. He can still be debuffed, but that's fine. As long as you're running a good team, you could literally run Red Zeldris with him and forget about it. There's no debuffs. There's no debuffs on this guy. He's insane, man. And then his skill 2, Dark Sword, I like that. I like that a lot. Inflicts amplified damage equal to 450% of attack on one enemy. Amplify. You guys already know what Amplify does, right? So he has an Amplify single hitting target skill. It would be broken if it was AoE. So having this single attack is very good. And he's proccing it by himself. Increases basic stats by 5%. So right there, right? This line right here procs this Amplify. So keep in mind, that's 3 buffs on him. That's 90% added when he takes damage. That is insane. Basically think of this as Red Escanor, but like 10 times better. Because he literally doesn't need anyone to support him because he supports himself as long as allies take damage, right? I'm not sure if it procs if he takes damage, but if allies take damage, he's going to increase basic stats by 5%. Again, I'm not sure if this is all allies' basic stats. It doesn't say it, but it could be. It could be, right? Which is really good. So I applaud JP for doing this. This is actually really good. So having a single target amplify is amazing, right? So you have his ultimate Darkness Pressure, increases the hero's basic stats by 50% for 3 turns, and inflicts 350% of attack on all enemies. Really, really good. Again, he can proc his amplify on his ultimate, and it's an AoE ultimate, increases his basic stats by 50%. I don't know if this stacks with his ultimate. I don't think it does, because this is obviously going to be the greater increase, right? 50% to basic stats, that's going to obviously be the greater increase. It might proc with this. Okay, so here's the thing, right? It says increases basic stats by 5%. If this is, since this is a passive buff, it may not even be like the blue buff, right? It may not be a skill buff, which means I don't think his amplify will proc. So, because it's not an active buff, it's a passive buff. But if it is a, if it does have the 3 blue icons above his health gauge, that's going to be really broken. Like, that's going to be really broken to the fact that he can activate it on his passive. But if it is a passive, buff, right, where it doesn't show the icons that, indicate he's buffing himself, sort of similar to Green Galther, then yes, he doesn't self-proc his amplify. He will need a support type unit, and he also will need this to proc. But that's fine, right? That's obviously really, really good still. Because if you do this, increases his basic stats by 50%, this is a passive buff. This stacks. This 50% and this 5%, I'm assuming for 5 times, which would be 25%, that stacks. Which would literally, like, he's the best unit in the game. I don't care. He's the best unit in the game. He can still be debuffed, but the fact that you can have a full commandment team, meaning Red Zeldris right next to him, you could just move his cards, forget about it. It's over. It's literally over. But yeah, so a good unit to run alongside him actually is this Blue Droll, right? Blue Droll is the perfect unit to actually run alongside him other than Red Zeldris, because Blue Droll increases allies' attack by 3% for every buff applied on him, right? And you guys already know he's getting 3 buffs right here, 1, 2, and 3. The blues indicate that he's getting the buffs. So that's 3 buffs right there off rip, which means he's getting a 9% increase to his attack just from Droll using this skill. Not only does Droll, become immune to Petrify, he taunts as well, which is very, very good. Very good. And then Droll's commandment. Where's his commandment? I think I passed it. Yeah. His commandment, bruh. Apply a buff that increases resistance by 30% for 3 turns every time an ally or enemy receives damage from skill. Come on, bruh. Come on. So you're literally, if you run him alongside Assault Mode Melee, he has Amplify right off the rip, right? He's amplifying himself. So if he takes... This is crazy. This is crazy. Let's not forget, too, he's decreasing defense-related stats of all enemies by 15% for 2 turns, right? And then if this stacks, 75% if he gets hit 5 times. Stop it. Stop it. It's literally insane. It's actually insane. And then Droll has Petrification on his first skill, which means he's going to be doing massive damage. Like, he's actually going to be doing insane damage because of the fact that he, again, if he is getting buffed by this right here, he's going to be doing really good damage, because not only is he himself getting 3% for every buff, which means he's getting 9% off the rip from using his skill 2, he's also getting buffed by Assault Mode Meliodas' passive, which means he's going to be doing some good damage, man. He's going to be doing some good damage. Maybe not the craziest damage, but it is still going to be good damage regardless. Now, if you don't want to run Droll alongside this Assault Mode Melee, you could also run, like I said, Zeldris is a good choice. Zeldris is an amazing choice to run alongside him, right? Red Zel is one of the best support units in the game. Increases allies' basic stats by 6% for each ally or enemy with a commandment. Right there, right? Run him with Assault Mode Melee. Run another commandment next to him. Right there, you're getting a 12% increase from Zel and, let's say, another commandment that you're running. Blue Droll, right? So you got Zel, Assault Mode Melee, and then you got Blue Droll. That's 12% to your basic stats right there. Again, if it's a passive buff, that stacks with Assault Mode Meliodas' passive. So you're getting an extra 5% at the bare minimum. 5%. 25% if it does stack. That is insane. That is actually really good. I am just blown away by how good they made Assault Mode Melee. That's crazy. And then you also have Zelda's Commandment, which means if you just move his card, he removes all debuffs on himself. All debuffs on himself, which is insane. Now, obviously, you're going to want to run Droll for Assault Mode Melee's Amplify, but you could also just wait and get his pass or his ultimate, right? It's going to be a little hard, not going to lie, if you do run Red Droll to get his ultimate, because if they do stun, freeze, like basically incapacitate you, you're going to have to remove the debuffs by moving the card. So, yeah, he's still a good partner. He's a fantastic partner with him. It's just you're going to have to really think about who you're going to run alongside him, you know what I mean? And then also Gloxinia. Gloxinia is another unit that people are saying is really good with him. I mean, it makes sense because Gloxinia does have a very good skill 1. It literally blocks skill 2 or rank 2 and rank 3 skills. You can only use rank 1 skills for 1 turn and then 2 turns on rank 3, which is really, really good. So they literally cannot do anything. Most debuff skills like stun or petrify are on rank 2 and rank 3. Rank 1, no. Rank 1 is usually an attack. It's when you rank up is when it becomes a debuff into a stun or petrification, right? Or freeze. Well, freeze is level 1. Freeze is the only one that's level 1, but stun and petrify are legit like rank 2 and rank 3 skills only. Rank 1 is usually an attack card, but still very, very good. He also grants debuff immunity on rank 3, which is really good for Meliodas. He can also remove debuffs straight off the rip. So if you want to, you could legit just run Droll or Gloxinia together, and then with Droll, you'll have his commandment active, which means you're proccing Meliodas' Amplify. This is crazy. This is really crazy. Not to mention, Gloxinia is red, Droll's blue, Assault Mode Melee's green. You have a rainbow team right there. Really good stuff, yo. This, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, this is gonna be one of the best teams in the game. It might just be the best team in the game. I'll be honest with you. Gloxinia, Blue Droll, Assault Mode Melee, and then if you run Red Zell on the back, that's pretty much the best team in the game. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's probably gonna be the best team in the game, which is just insane. Yeah. So I mean. Assault Mode Melee, man, he's good. He's good. There are a few things about him, though, since he can be incapacitated, right? You can sort of use Merlin. I was thinking about this. You can use Red Merlin, low-key, but the problem is the commandment's next to him, right? Because you could just freeze, right? Let's say you freeze him. He can't move. Now, if you do run Red Zell with him, then it's pretty much GG for Merlin. She can't really do anything, but she is red, so she's a good contender against him. You just need some heavy, hard-hitting reds. That's all. But something to note, Red Gauther might be a better option than Green Gauther when he comes out, because Red Gauther can use attack disable, which is good. But I really don't know, because if they're gonna run Red Gloxinia, he can just remove debuffs with his skill 1 heal. So, or with his rank 1 heal. So, I don't know. It's very, very strange. But, yeah, he has to be the best unit in the game. There's literally no denying it. He is the best unit in the game. Rupture skill 1, which means Goddess Elizabeth is basically cucked for the rest of the game's lifetime. He's green. He has type advantage over her, right? He has Amplify, which means even red units are going to take really good damage, considering that Amplify is a very strong skill, because you guys seen it already, Escanor. And then also, he's decreasing defense-related stats of all enemies by 15% if allies take damage. Lost Vein is gonna take so much damage, man. His defense-related stats already suck. Imagine like decreasing it by like 15%. Again, if it stacks by a further 15%, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. And then his Amplify is just gonna straight up like destroy him. It's just gonna straight up destroy him. There's no surviving it. There's literally no surviving it. But yeah, man, I'm very, very hyped for JP. This is some exciting stuff. I'm very, very glad that they did this. I'm really content on how they made Assault Mode Melee. He's good. He's very, very good. But guys, with that said, I'm gonna end the video. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe for more Grand Cross content. Also, be sure to join our Discord if you're new to the channel. But get hyped, guys. He's coming out. I don't know when. potentially tomorrow, but just be hyped. Hopefully you guys have stones ready. But yeah, man, I will see you all in the next video.